In this video, I'm going to show you to use a duplicator plugin to move your WordPress site from one location to another quickly and easily. It even deals with serialized plugins, which are plugins that are associated with your domain name, which can be difficult to move manually. And we're getting started right now. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. It's Bjorn from WP Learning Lab, where we help you get better at WordPress so you can earn more for yourself, for your clients, and for your business. If you haven't done so yet, hit subscribe, then hit the bell notification icon so you're notified when I publish more tutorials for you. And I had a crazy idea over the weekend. I know a lot of you guys are from Germany, a lot of you guys that watch my videos and are subscribed to my channel. So I thought, why not offer you guys to make another version of this tutorial in German? If you want me to do that, leave it in the comments below. If there's a lot of demand, I'll make more tutorials in German. I'll still be making all the English ones as I have been, but I'll make German ones as well. Either way, let me know in the comments below, and let's get into this duplicator plugin tutorial. I'll see you there. Here's the site that we're going to be moving. It is a BuddyPress theme. It's the one I use on WP Learning Lab now as well. I'm building this site for a project that I'm doing with a business partner of mine. But what we're doing is we're changing the domain from factorxsolutions.com to factorx.co, just to shorten it. And apparently all the young kids are using the .co domains. They're super popular right now, probably because all the good .coms are taken. But either way, .co is trending, it's popular. So we're going to move the website from this domain to this new one using the duplicator plugin. The first thing we have to do is log into the dashboard of this site that already exists, and we need to install the plugin. So we're going to go to plugins, then click on add new, and then type in duplicator. And the one we want is this very first one up here. Over 1 million active installs, compatible with WordPress, updated 3 weeks ago. Solid plugin. So we're going to click on install now. Then we're going to click on activate. And now the plugin's installed, and we have a new menu item down here called duplicator. So if we just click on that main top level menu item, we see our packages. This will be a list of previous backups or migrations we've done. We haven't done any yet, so there's nothing here. And just to clarify, this is a plugin clearly, but I also have videos that do this without a plugin. So if you want to learn how to move your files and database and get your hands dirty in the real technical stuff, I have some videos about that. If you want to do the quick and simple and dirty and easy way, but you don't really care about how it all works, you just want to get it done, this is where you want to be. We're going to click on create new to create a new package, and we can add a custom name here if we want, but that name is just fine by me. Each one of these item storage, archive, installers, a little drop down that's going to give you some information about what is going to happen. None of it you have to change. So all of it can stay the way it is, and you can just click on next. Or if you're an advanced user, you can go in and change those things, but definitely not required. Now we're going to scan the site, and it's going to find anything that there's a warning about. So we have a total size warning, meaning the size of the file, so the number of files is large. Even though it's not that large, it's only 156 in total. So if we click on these down arrows beside our warnings, we can see what the problems are. Here we have a file size of this many, 156 megabytes. We have support for up to 2 gigabytes in Duplicator Pro. However, we're not using the Pro version, and 156 should be enough for the free version. We're going to see if it throws any errors. It's just saying that some hosts limit the size to 150 megabytes, and we're 6 megabytes over. It should be fine. We'll see what happens. The name checks drop down is just saying that certain characters in names can cause problems. So if we click on show paths, it'll tell us or show us what the problem is. So this file here in the WP content folder, a backup of the uploads folder it has special characters. These colons here are listed as special characters, and they could cause problems. However, it should be fine, and that's just a backup anyway, so I don't really care whether that's copied or not. So I'm just going to close the name checks here, and those warnings shouldn't be an issue. So I'm going to click on yes to continue, and we'll see what happens. So we're going to click on the build button down here, and this may take a few minutes depending how fast your server is and depending how big your site is, but it won't take too long. Okay, so now the package has been built. We have the status saying that package is completed, nice green checkbox, and those warnings that were generated clearly didn't cause a problem, so we're good to go. And we have now the ability to download the installer and the archive. When moving a site, we want to do both. So we want to click on the installer and find a place to download that. Click on the archive, find a place to download that. Mine auto download. You might have a little pop-up browser window where you pick a place to download. Now that we have those on our hard drive, now we head over to our website folder either via FTP or via the file manager on the new server, or even inside the new folder on your current server, and that is where we're going to upload these files. Open my cPanel over here, and if I head into the file manager, and again, you can do this via FTP if you want. FTP is usually slower to upload than the file manager, so I prefer to upload via the file manager. But we head into here, we open the public, we can delete the CGI bin. It's not really used anymore, so I usually delete it right away. And then we're going to upload our two files by clicking on the upload button here, and then we can drag and drop them into this box here. So I'm just going to select both of these and just drag and drop them into this area, and they are going to upload. The PHP file is really fast, the second one much slower, but I find that the file manager is still a lot faster than FTP. So if you find yours going too slow, try the file manager. And up here it says we have a limit of 1000 megabytes, which is 1 gigabyte. So hopefully your zip file is smaller than that. If it's bigger, you're going to have to use FTP. You can still upload larger file sizes with FTP, it just takes a long time. So now that's uploaded, we can close this tab. We head back into here, into our file manager, and hit reload. And now we have our stuff right here. And now we need to go to our domain name /installer.php to install it. However, I haven't yet redirected my domain name to this server. So I'm going to show you how to do that just in case that's an issue you're confronting. So I have this domain name right here, factorx.co. It's registered in Namecheap, and I have made Namecheap open already. Look how prepared I am today. So we have a list of domains here. Factorx.co is right here. I'm going to click on Manage, and now we have our basic options page for that domain, and we're going to change the name servers from Namecheap Basic DNS to a custom DNS. And my custom DNS is ns1wp-doneforyou.com and ns2.wp-doneforyou.com. I'm going to click on this check mark to save. So we have our new name servers in here. It can take up to 48 hours for all the systems around the world to recognize this change, but it usually goes a lot faster. So once this is propagated, our domain name will load something else that looks different than this, probably a blank page or a 404 from our hosting account. But either way, once that happens, it's propagated, and then we're going to pop into the installer and install the site. So I'm going to pause the video till then. I'll see you in just a minute. All right, we're back. It only took a few minutes. As you can see from the time change up here, it's only been a few minutes since we initiated that name server change. So it wasn't 48 hours this time, but it can happen. So they say. I've never seen it happen, but apparently it can. We now have our two files here that we uploaded via the file manager or via FTP if you did it that way. If we click on installer, it'll take us to the Duplicator installer. All right, so we're on step 1 of 4 for the deployment on the Duplicator installer. And this again, just like last time, walks us through what we have to do. In the archive tab here, it says the archive was successfully detected, which is the zip file that we uploaded. So that's good. We got a green pass on that. Validation basically checks to see whether the site that you backed up and are migrating will actually work on this new server. And so we passed all those validations. In our options, we can set some options. For the extraction, do a manual package extraction. I don't see why you want to do that. Automatic is always better. File times, keep it current or the original. So what that means is when a new file is created on the server, it's going to have a timestamp from right now, right when it was created. Or you can keep the original timestamp that's in the zip file. Which one you choose is up to you. For me, it never matters, but it might matter for you. For the logging, what that means is the log file is kept for everything that happens during the transfer. You can choose from light, which is just basic information of what happens, detailed, which is a thorough summary of what happened, and debug is only used when, or is only logged when things go wrong. So I usually choose light. I usually keep all the settings how they are. Actually, I'm just showing them for your benefit. And under notices, we can read through the disclaimers, database setup, and when you're happy, click on that little checkbox there, then click on the next button. Now we run the deployment process. It goes pretty fast usually, and then we're going to be on step 2. So in step 2, we start out with 2 options, basic and cPanel. Basic is where we have to enter information about a database that already exists. In cPanel, which is part of the Duplicator Pro option, it connects right to your cPanel. It will list the databases that you have. You can choose when it's in there. You can create a new database right from the panel here. But we're in the free version, so we have to use the basic. We have to either create a new database or connect and remove all data from an existing database. Either way, we have to enter information from a real database that's there. In case you haven't created one, I'm going to show you how to do that right now. If you already have a database created, this is where you just enter the information. And if you're familiar how to do this, you can just skip 2 or 3 minutes ahead, and then we'll be moving on to the next step. If we head into the cPanel, we need to find a icon called MySQL Databases. Click on that to open it. In here, we're going to add a database name. I usually like to do something pretty random like this. Then click on Create Database. Database is created, so we have our database name. I'm just going to copy that right into here, like so. And then go back. Now we're going to create a username. Scroll down a bit. My username will be this. I usually like to generate my password, pick a really crazy one, keep on generating it. This one's pretty good. I'll copy that. And now, as usual, it has replaced my username again, so I'm just gonna make a new one. Then click on Create User. Passwords don't match. I'm gonna paste my password into both of those. Create User. The problems that you just saw there, those are caused by my LastPass plugin trying to be smart and autofill stuff, but it messes stuff up when I'm creating databases. Small price to pay for an awesome app. So we have the password, just gonna paste it in here, and the username. There it is, just gonna copy that. Paste that in here as well. And we can take a look at these options that we have here. These are not required by any means. Usually just keeping them as they are is a good idea. Pop in here, take a look around. If you wanna know more about these things, click on Help, but they're really not important. There's so much else to learn that's more important. I wouldn't worry too much about this. So we can click on this little test database button right here. First, we have to do something else though, sorry. Let's go back. We have to actually connect the user to the database, otherwise we're gonna get an error. So on this hosting account, we only have one database, one user. So listed here's the user, here's the database, and we click on Add to connect the two. If we do not connect the two, you're gonna see an error that says error establishing connection with the database, or cannot establish connection with the database. And that's because we didn't connect our user to the database, or that user doesn't have the right privileges. I just give it all privileges, works fine for me. And now that we have that done, I'm gonna click on Test Database. And we have success, a bunch of green stuff. Green is much better than red when you're working with stuff like this. So that's all good. Hide that message, then click on Next. And we have the status box that pops up. Run the installer with these settings, just confirming what we have here. Then we click on Yes. Well, one note for the server. Usually it's localhost. Almost every time it's localhost. Sometimes you might get a host that requires you to enter an IP here. And I've never actually encountered hosts that do that before, but I know they're out there. And usually localhost is all you need. So we're gonna click on Yes to get started. This will take a few minutes to install, then we'll be on step 3. So now we're on step 3 of the install. At this point, all the files and all the database, all information has been installed, but now we can update certain things on there. So for the new settings, our new URL is this, and that is correct. The path is here. This is the path to the root of the website, and that is correct. The title, which is pulled from the files, or from the database, sorry, is this, and that's also correct. In the options, let's poke through those. We can create a new admin account in here. Keep in mind that the existing accounts that all existed before the transfer, those also still exist. So you don't have to create an admin account if you had a login before. So you can either use that or not use that, depending on what you need. Scan options, we have a site URL here, which is the new one. We have the old URL, the old path here, and then we have tables that we want to scan and activate plugins that we want to activate. As you have it all selected. And what happens here is there's certain plugins that are serialized, which means their functioning depends on the existence of a domain name in the coding for the plugin. And that domain name is pulled from the domain name where it's installed. So if you install a plugin on the old site, it may not work on the new one if it's serialized because the domain name was not updated. And so what this duplicator plugin does, it now goes through all your tables to try to find the ones that use serialized information and update that information to the new information so that they all work. So very useful stuff. All the rest just keep as it is, and then click on Next. And now step 3 takes a few minutes. and we'll be on step 4. So this is step 4, where we test things. You need to save the permalinks because that updates them all to the new site permalink, which is key. Otherwise, some pages will not be accessible. So if we click on Save Permalinks, it's going to open up the login form. We're going to have to log in here, put those in there, then log in. And this will take us again to the permalinks area where all we do is click Save, and then that's done. And just in case it doesn't take you where it says it will, just like it did now, we need to go into the admin area and then head over to Settings and then Permalinks. Down here, Settings and then Permalinks, and then scroll to the very bottom. You can keep everything as it is. Click on Save Changes at the bottom, and that will update all the permalinks. Now at the very top here, there's a warning. Reserved duplicator install files have been detected in the root directory. Please delete these reserved files to avoid security issues. So take me to the cleanup page, nice little link, click on that. We don't want security issues. So we're going to click on Delete Reserved Files, and that deletes all the installer files. Bunch of green check marks, that went well. Then we can delete the legacy data. This action will remove legacy settings prior to version 1.2.6, and this is all related to the Duplicator plugin. So it's not deleting anything from your site, just the Duplicator plugin. So this is generally fine because you're not going to want the Duplicator plugin stuff installed on the new site. So those are all deleted. And now if we head back into our file manager, click on Reload. In our directory, we now have all of our files here, which is fantastic. We also still have the zip file that was not auto-deleted. So I'm going to delete that zip file that we use for transferring. I'm going to skip trash, delete permanently, click on confirm. And now we have that zip file gone, and now our website should be ready to roll. So if we head out to visit the site, we are at factorx.co. And if we look back to the old site, which I haven't refreshed, actually it's still here, even if I refresh it, it'll still be here. But we have FactorX Solutions being the old site, and then factorx.co being the new site. So as you can see, the sites are identical, which is great. And we want to go through and click on some links to make sure it's all there and it's all functioning. So if you click on any of these links and things are breaking, you want to make sure that those things are fixed. And a very, very important thing to do when you're transferring a site, if this is a site that's existed for a while and is ranking in Google and getting traffic, you want to make sure you redirect all the old URLs on the old domain to the new domain. If you don't, two things will happen. You're going to lose the traffic from search engines and from people on social media, and anybody who's clicking a link to get to your site, you're going to lose that traffic because they're going to go to an old domain that no longer exists that's not redirected. And if you have rankings in Google or other search engines, your old site will slowly lose those rankings because that site's probably going to be deleted. Why would you keep it there if you transfer it? And the new site is not yet ranking. So you're going to lose your SEO traffic for a long time. But if you redirect your URLs using a 301 redirect, you don't lose as much SEO ranking, and it usually bounces back to where your old site was ranking within a month or two. Now to make this very important step happen, we have to go into the file manager for the old website and edit the htaccess file. So I'm just going to pop in there right now. It's going to load it up. Be right back in a second. All right, so now we're in the cPanel of the old domain. I'm going to click on File Manager to open that. Then I'm going to go to the root, and I'm looking for the htaccess file. If you don't see it when you clicked on File Manager a moment ago, there might have been a checkbox that said Show Hidden Files. If there wasn't one, you may have a settings button like I do in the top right here. If we click on that, there's a checkbox down here, Show Hidden Files. Make sure that's checked. And then you can see .files, including .htaccess. I'm going to select this file, click on Code Editor to edit it. So now we're in the htaccess file. We're going to paste in our htaccess code. Now you can find this in the description down below or link to in a blog post if YouTube doesn't allow some of these special characters. We want to change two things. The old domain, which is factorxsolutions.com, to the new domain, which is factorx.co. I'm going to take out the www at the beginning here. That's optional. You can leave it in or you can take it out. I'm going to save changes. You're going to update those to your old domain and your new domain, depending on what they are. I'm going to open an incognito window because Chrome often caches old pages and causes problems when you're trying to do this. So we're going to go to the old domain and click on Enter. And this should be redirected to the new domain, and it is. So that redirect works. It's all gravy. And this type of redirect that we have in our htaccess file here, that should work on most server configurations. If you run into any problems, just leave a comment down below. We'll see if we can figure it out, but this should work for most people, just how it is here. And now you can rest assured knowing that your pages are redirected, Google will know they're redirected, your traffic will know they're redirected, and you can carry on your new domain. So that's how easy it is to use the Duplicator plugin. I hope this video helps you. And again, let me know if you want this video in German and other tutorials in German. Let me know in the comments below. If you have other questions and comments, also leave them below this video. If you haven't done so yet, hit subscribe, then hit the bell icon so you don't miss anything. And next up is clicking one of these videos on the right-hand side so you can learn even more about WordPress. And until next time, keep crushing it, and I will see you in the next video.